Hi guys, feeling for some island spice and think you have to go to the store for some curried goat? Let me just show you quickly how you could get your own curried goat really nice and prepared at home. So you want to get about 2.5 pounds of goat. Wash it thoroughly with some lime juice and some vinegar, and then you wash those off again with some fresh water. You have your nice clean meat, and you're going to add your seasonings and spices. So you want to start off with some salt, some meat seasoning, Szechuan if you prefer, paprika, and some ground ginger. You want to crush that out really well. Add your curry powder and massage them all into your meat. Use some gloves when you're going to do the massaging, because the curry will stay on your fingers for a while. Now after you've massage the meat, the spice into your meat, you want to let that sit for at least 2 hours. After that, you can add some curry, some garlic into some oil in your skillet on the stove. When your curry starts becoming brown, you want to add your meat in. You want to burn your curry so that it's nice and flavorful with your garlic. So you add all your meat into your skillet and you let that sit for about a minute or two on the fire before you start stirring it in. When you start stirring your meat in, it will start to simmer and bear its own juices. You don't have to add any water to it. Stir as needed and let it be simmering covered for at least 8 minutes. After that time, you could test it to see how soft it is. If you like your meat fall off the bone soft, then you might want to add it to a pressure cooker. If you don't, then you could let it sit for another 12 minutes on the fire, just simmering and becoming more tender. If you can see, I'm testing the meat and it's tender. It's already tender, but I like it really soft. I like it when it falls off the bone. So I went ahead and I added my meat to a pressure cooker. You want to have your meat pressured for another 8 minutes. If you want it really, really tender, then 10 minutes. But I let this pressure for 8 minutes. While it was in the pressure cooker, I got my seasonings ready. Some onion, some pepper, some scallion, some thyme. I also got some potatoes ready. I diced them, some really smaller than some, and I added some garlic. You want to have your potato simmer in some of the juices of your meat for at least 4 to 5 minutes. You want them to be really tender, so tender that the smaller potatoes will start to dissolve into the liquid. You want that because it naturally thickens your sauce. You don't have to add anything to thicken your sauce if you do this and do it right. So let it simmer, let it cook through. After that, add your seasonings. I added also some pimento seeds because that adds to the richness of the flavor into my mixture. And so I'm gonna put all these seasonings into the potato mixture and just stir for a little bit, maybe a minute before I add all the meat in. After this, you're gonna let the meat simmer for 5 to 6 minutes in all this seasoning. Let it absorb the seasoning, the spices and everything, and let the potato continue to break down in that sauce. Now feast your eyes on this. See how thick my sauce becomes, and it gets there naturally. I served this over some white rice. You could do the same if you want, or you could also serve it like I did over some rice and peas. You could have this with some roti. You could even have it with bread. Curried goat is really versatile, and I know many of my friends who just eat it like that by itself when they only want protein. So go ahead, fix yourself some nice curried goat and enjoy.